Yes. Yeah, let's do it.
So the project tonight, I saw an ad on LinkedIn for a service that will take in like a regular headshot and turn it into like a LinkedIn professional headshot. So I don't know if we'll be able to pull off the whole thing tonight, but I thought it'd be a cool example to hook into a ComfyUI. We'll be able to flow out for it and then see if we can take it to transform a photo from like an uploaded photo into like a more professional looking headshot. So that was the idea. I think we're going to do I usually use a remix UI, and I guess we'll have a folder for the ComfyUI models and stuff in there. We have, yeah, there's still a terabyte of storage, so that should work.
I also think this is a great idea because I've heard people use this before, and I'm not sure. I think my LinkedIn profile might need some updating.
Yeah, we'll use yours as the starting point. All right, so let's start. Create a remix run in the static project. Get that going in the background, and then we'll also go on Comfy and get that started. So installing, basically the idea behind this is you can git clone it. So there it is. Okay. So if I switch back to VS Code, I've already got all the NVIDIA drivers set up because that's another 2-hour session just getting that running. We're on CUDA 12.4. Git clone. So that just created the folder there. I can go in here. Make the virtual environment for it. I think it has a requirement. Just double check that. Yes, it's got pip install, so we can use a virtual environment. I want stable PyTorch, so we do this link and the CUDA 124. So we were looking at 12.4 before. So that should match. All right, so here we've got everything we cloned from ComfyUI in the virtual environment folder. So you're gonna just join the virtual environment, start it up, call it. Now we're in the virtual environment. And we have a requirements.txt, but I'm going to install the prerequisites first. Okay, let that run in the background. I'm going to also create remix. So that'll give us a new term. Okay, latest. Okay. Do not initialize the Git repo. Install with npm.
Wait, what are you installing here? Oh, remix.
All right, so we've got, yeah. I've got ComfyUI going in one folder, and we've got front end, which is a remix app, going in another folder.
What's remix again?
Remix is the go-to React framework that I like. It's kind of opinionated, but that's my opinion, so I'm going to do it. But it's kind of cool. It's got nested layouts like this, and I'm sure we'll see that. What are they talking about here? Let's let them explain the features. It's kind of a cool blend between statically generated site and server-side rendering. And then the routing is based, yeah, so it's got kind of nested routes, which is kind of cool. It's probably overkill for this, but I'm just kind of used to it.
Okay.
And it works.
And it makes it
Generally
load
pretty
faster.
fast.
Cool.
ComfyUI is running. Yeah, okay, they both set up. Now I should be able to. This no module name download. Oh, that's right. Pip install F.
Gosh. Yeah.
F for file would make sense, but it's R for requirements. Should remember that by now, but I don't. So we got more going on there. The npm. No package.json. Why do I not have npm on there? npm.sh, I think. Yes. Yes.
What is
Probably good.
the npm version isn't high enough?
Yeah, so this is the node version manager that will let you choose between. I think it's because I usually do this in a VM, but I've got it on the GPU machine this time. So,
Gotcha.
all right. There were we? Okay. Localhost 573. Oh, wait, that should be perfect. So that's parts. That doesn't seem to be auto forwarded, but let's see if I can put that. In there. Stalker. You are 10.40.98. That's try this. No,
This is because you're SSH'd into the Goliath server, right?
yeah, I'm trying to wait. Yeah, so when you this is SSHing using VS Code and it's supposed to port forward as it goes.
Gotcha.
It's not. It's clearly picking it up. It's just not. Da, da, da. Kind of weird that it's doing that. Let's take a look at ComfyUI and get back to that. Okay, so this works.
Well,
The ComfyUI, maybe I'll just make a simpler HTML UI. So let's see if we can turn. Oh, yes. So now the one thing you need to do once you install ComfyUI, there's actually a second step, is to install the ComfyUI manager. I don't know why they haven't just bundled this. This seems like a little thing, but it really is. It's a
what's
plugin, but it is pretty core functionality because it gives you this tool that lets you install.
what's the difference between ComfyUI and ComfyUI Manager
The manager is a plugin for ComfyUI
that allows you to manage it?
that allows you to, so Comfy, like, it's very extension driven. It's very plugin driven, where
Okay.
different developers are creating different nodes, right? Like this is, each of these is a node. It's a Python class that has some functionality, right?
Yeah.
So independent developers make their own nodes for various things, and you install them. They're basically just get cloned into a plugins folder.
Okay, that makes sense. Um, what's the interface between them? It just like they define some API that then when it get clones and everything, it knows how to call it? Or does it just run as a separate binary or something?
I think it's running in the main Python. It's all Python, right? So
Yeah.
there's if I go in ComfyUI, there's different folders. One of them is custom nodes, and so I get clone the manager in there.
Okay.
So now that I've installed the manager, let's just see. So here we can see that it picked up the manager. But I think actually this might have just worked and been an empty file.
So what does this ComfyUI graph?
No. Um, yes. Okay. So here now we have added the manager here that gives us this screen. And
Okay.
now I can go model manager. I can go prune DM manager, prune DM. Okay. Let's do it again. install. And it's a 5 gig download, so it takes maybe a couple minutes. Wish there's like a progress bar. Oh, there is. Look at that. And to apply the model, please click refresh. Sorry. Now I should be able to hit Q, and so it's going to load the model. And then it generated that picture. So that's the simplest kind of setup. And so this is the prompt that it comes with. It's super tiny. So that's beautiful scenery, nature, glass bottle, landscape, purple galaxy bottle. That's what it comes with. And then text and watermark is the negative. So you can color the nodes. So I like the positive in green and the negative in red, just because it makes it obvious. So let's go from here. Professional headshot. Let's just see if we get there.
What are the boxes that they're connecting to?
Yeah, so we'll go through the whole thing right now. That's not a man. So the first thing is loading the model from the disk, right? And so each of these nodes has inputs and outputs. So, well, I guess the load checkpoint has no input, but the output is a model, and it's the clip. So that's essentially how the text is encoded. And VAE, I think that's variation autoencoder, and that's used to decode the samples into a picture. So the way that the clip is used is it turns, I can actually, I think it was, I'm gonna, so yeah, there are basically different types of embeddings. So there's one type of embedding for the inputs and another type of embedding for the image that it's generating. If I go
Um, so the inputs being the text prompt.
yeah,
I understand. So I guess that makes sense as in like that gets turned into an embedding, but is there like an image embedding or
yeah,
something?
yes. So I've got a couple more. We installed a model, but we can also install extra plugins in here. So we can just see we've got the terminal kind of going on in the
Yeah.
bottom. And you can see in the folders here, execution, but there's probably custom. Yeah, so as we're installing the plugins, they're going into custom nodes here.
Okay.
Inspires useful sometimes. The video frame one's cool. I haven't played that one. There's hundreds of plugins, so we're not going to go through all of them, but the fun thing about doing this live is you get to show all the steps, but sometimes it takes.
Maybe we should make a comfy UI that takes in a raw live stream and then speeds up all the download and setup parts.
Yeah. I wonder if I can. Yeah. Build. What is a there we go. Okay. This is working again.
Nice.
But I don't think it has the live reload when I do this way. If I go on dev. Manager.
So is there like a plugin for input, or like there's an API or something that ComfyUI exposes that you will hit in the
Yes,
React?
that's a good point actually. So if I go, there is no, it's not. Yes, it's custom nodes. There is one for API. UI to Python. Yeah,
Okay, that's fun.
saw that.
Oh, okay, that's awesome.
What I wanted to see. Let's see. I don't remember exactly how. Um, I um, I think this was IP adapter. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do with IP adapter.
What? So what does this do?
So IP adapter, I assume IP stands for intellectual property, but I don't actually know that for a fact. The idea is it's what lets you take in a face and generate images with that face.
Okay.
now we can, yeah. Get the models downloading.
Well, what are we doing now?
I was trying to get the model, but it's not in here. So there's basically what they've got here is this is a site that has a whole bunch of models, and so this is the face to face or the face IP adaptive model they're suggesting,
Okay.
which is fine. I've used that one before, but it wasn't showing up in the list. So you can download it from here. Let me just see if I can. This is a checkpoint train. So here I can go CD models, checkpoints, and I can. There you get output. Excel. Save changes. Make sure you put the URL in quotes because that is important. Yeah, okay, that's working. We'll do that. So I just took the download link here and then I used wget on it. Sometimes it doesn't work, but it's working today. I go back to their guide. Let's see. Oh, there's the clip vision, which is the clip vision. That one's in here.
So the only like for me, the only resolution I have on this entire process and everything is that a stable diffusion model is something that's trained to denoise an image with a prompt into the final image. I'm not sure what clip is or what this specific model Juggernaut XL would be trained.
Yeah, so this is like a whole marketplace of different models.
Okay.
So I can go in, people can put up the models and videos, but the useful thing is people put different models and then the pictures are obviously the logos of it. Or not
Yeah,
the images generated using that model. So
gotcha.
we've got there's a few different types and different base models. So the biggest, I guess, most common pieces will be a checkpoint. And a checkpoint is a whole model that you can use to generate pictures. You can also have a LoRa, a low rank adaptation, which is basically taking somebody else's model. So if we go, this is a LoRa, for example. The early access ones are a pain, but this is a LoRa, which means that it's much smaller and it uses all the weights of another model and then it adds some extra weights on the end
Gotcha.
versus the checkpoint has all the weights in it.
Um,
So here you can see this is 1 gig versus the others are like 10.
okay.
But you have to make sure that you're using the same base model. So this is Flux 1 dev. Flux is one that came out recently that works a little differently. We can look at it too. I'm just going to, oh, that's fine. Huh. If you stop the server, then it doesn't work very well. There we go. Now it's downloading.
Which model did you go for?
So we've got the checkpoint is the Juggernaut XL. This clip vision model that we're installing now basically works the same way as these boxes. Right? So instead of taking in a text prompt, the clip text encode will take in the clip model and apply the picture. Now this is the old clip text encode. I want clip vision. The vision encode. So clip, I forget exactly what it stands for, but it's how your prompt is encoded. Is this too small?
Uh, that works.
So here we have this. So these, you'll notice that these are still close to the same.
Yeah.
Well, and we'll get into the actual flow behind it, but they have similar ideas. The difference is the original prompt will take in a clip model, you give it text, and it'll give out a conditioning. And then that goes into the K sampler, which is the denoising process. We can talk about that in a bit.
Yeah.
Clip vision works essentially the same way, but instead of giving it text, you're giving it an image. Right?
Say that again. So instead of giving it text, you're giving it an image.
Yeah. So this is, instead of describing with words and labels what you want the image to generate, you can give it an image, and that's how you do the image to image processing.
Right, because I assume that with the clip, you're giving it a text prompt, and if you give it, there would be a way to give it an image of one that you want to adapt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just for the question that you asked before, what CLIP stands for, but contrastive language image pre-training, which was a thing by OpenAI in 2021. And they consist of two components, which is one's a vision encoder, which can either be a convolutional neural network or a vision transformer, along with a text encoder that encodes the text, and it's trained using image text pairs. And that's how they sort of allow them to get descriptions of what is in an image.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
I wonder what their obsession with making Einstein swole is,
I know,
honestly.
right? It's like a hello world. Now today, I don't know if they actually give the I don't think they gave this workflow, but we should be able to rebuild it fairly simply. So let's see. I yeah. So the way that they use the IP adapter is through the model. So let's get rid of that in the beginning. And then here, let's give it a by IP adapter. Mad scientist. Yeah, let me try this. I think that was just an old way of doing it. So that matches the yes. Okay, and so this model, we're gonna checkpoint loader. And why isn't that's drug out there? I can go here to models, checkpoints. Let me fresh. There's checkpoints. Let's see if it works. Honestly, I probably should have just done it this way. That's juggernaut.
So what we've got here is we're loading the checkpoint Juggernaut XL, and then we're connecting that to.
Yes.
Can you zoom in for
What is missing? Sense.
the clip is the text prompt of positive.
Load yeah. Okay, so that's not.
Oh, the checkpoint Juggernaut checkpoint didn't work.
No, it didn't because it's not a checkpoint file. It's a save tensor. Save tensors. And it needs to go in. Just see. Doesn't help that you can't actually see what they've got in here.
So there might be a plugin for loading safe tensors, because the checkpoint CKPT is usually like a serialized
Yeah, and so is safe sensors. And safe sensors are built in, but it's I think it goes under
safe tensors aren't I think safe tensors are slightly different though, because they're not a PyTorch thing, they're a Hugging Face thing. Which you can convert between both of them, but that might take, I think there's a tool, but it's interesting that they gave
this. It's a different type of this is the guy that they wrote with that model the end of August. Let's see.
Does the website have a way of downloading it in a different format?
It's no, it works as a safe tensors. I think we have to install a different node to load it. I'm just scrolling through this really quickly to see if it comes with
Right. Apparently, load checkpoint can load safe tensors.
Yeah, did I just have a typo in it?
Sorry.
Um, maybe I just had a typo in safe tensors, and that's why I wasn't.
Oh, did you?
I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think I just. Yeah, I think it was just a typo. That's. I always find that hilarious when streamers have typos and they don't notice it. Obviously, it's you don't notice it when you're doing
We need
it.
to make that streaming speed up ComfyUI. And then it would just cut through that entire part.
All right, so let's do their majestic line. All right, this is probably a good time to look at the. My line doesn't look as good as that line. What are we doing here? This should be 1024. Now, there's one cool thing that I can do under preferences. Uh, I can. There's a preview, and I don't. Turn on properties.
So I assume this allows you to sample things before they're fully generated.
Yeah, it shows you every step of the generation.
That's really cool.
And let's Google it again without using Google. Okay, so not showing preview. Manager menu and stuff. Oh, that's right. Manager preview method is to the latent RBG faster. All right, so now if I key prompt again, zoom in. So there you go. That's all the steps that make it.
That's cool. That's really cool.
There is, if I go here, I can change it to this, run it again, and it errors. But it gives me exactly what I need. So I can copy that manager, model manager, search this. It's not that base. Install that. There we go. Now we have high quality previews.
What did you change there?
So there's under manager, there's a preview method, there's a fast and a slow.
Yeah.
And so the slow one gives a much higher quality preview, but you have to install an extra model.
Okay.
So I installed that extra model.
Good old lion there.
So now let's talk about the K-sampler. So basically the K-sampler takes noise, which you get from this empty latent image, and goes through a certain number of steps, which you set here, and I had to look up how it worked after. But what happens is the way the Stable Diffusion model is, they're actually models designed to detect noise. So what happens is you give it the empty latent image that is entirely noise. And then given the positive and negative conditioning, it detects the noise in the noisy image so that it can, once it has the noise, it can subtract that noise out, and what you're left with is the description, the image that matches the description. And so it'll do it in X number of steps. If I just do one step, let's see if that works. It's not going to work very well, but let's just see what happens. Yeah, it started with an image that was totally noise. And when the input is totally noise, this is about as close as you can get to an adjusted line. If I go to, and it looks about the same. After about 5, you get something that looks like a creature on a rock. After 10, you get a pretty decent looking lion.
I guess it's still missing some details.
Yeah, so what ends up happening is every time it runs the model, it tries to detect all the noise. But when you give it 10 steps or 20 steps or 100 steps, it will reintroduce the amount of noise that it's still expected to have, and then rerun it again with that input image. So that's why we have the steps that are actually coming to look more and more like whatever you're trying to render.
So
Go ahead.
So just after one step, it removes noise, but then it adds more noise in for the next step.
Exactly.
Does it? I would think that if you just didn't add the noise in and you just kept running it on the output, it would do that enough that it would eventually come up with an image of a lion. I wouldn't have expected that you would need to add noise back in.
The reason you add the noise back in is because it has this concept of how far it is in the progression. And I don't know if that
Okay.
strictly makes sense. So I've just switched from a K-sampler to an advanced K-sampler, which is doing all the same thing, but it will actually let us have a separate number of steps and end at step. So what we can see is if I go 5 steps out of 20, it's basically so that you don't, like, as you're X% of the way through, right? Like if you're doing 20 steps, every image is 5%. But if you're doing 100 steps, every image is 1%. When you're X% of the way through, the model is trained to expect a certain amount of noise at that percentage. Like the percentage of progress is one of the inputs to the model, along with the prompt and the noisy image, right?
Okay.
So let's see.
So like once you run it once and then it has 0% noise because it's fixed all the noise, you want to put in like 90% of the noise back in.
Yeah. So this is what it looks like 5 steps out of 20.
Yeah.
But if I give it 100 steps and only do 5, it's still, I mean, it looks pretty rough either way, but
So it's essentially taking smaller steps towards the end. And then the amount of noise that you've got in there when the model takes it in is a indication of how far along it is.
yes.
That's cool. Oh wow.
And so this is with 100 steps, and you can see even like by step 80, we're pretty close to, I don't see much happening since step 80. But if we stop at 50 of 100, I noticed the face still had a lot of extra noise because it knows to put in like extra focus there,
Gotcha.
for example. Oh, I didn't set that to 50. So now we're going to stop halfway through 100 steps. And so you can see
Yeah.
it. There you go. So most of the image still looks pretty good, but there's some details like the joints and the face still have the noise that's reintroduced.
Yeah.
We also have, so that's the idea behind steps, and you can start at step, end at step. Another piece is this the CFG, and I forget what that stands for. You might be able to look it up in the background, but it's no, something free guidance. Categorizer free guide, something like that. And basically this is how much the model applies what you are talking about. Condition free guidance? I don't know, something like that.
A classifier free guidance.
Classifier free guidance, yeah. So that's, if you're reading something, go ahead.
Um, it is a technique used to improve the quality of, and relevance of generated images. It essentially controls how closely the model should adhere to your text prompt when generating an image.
Exactly.
Okay,
So one thing that's kind of fun is if you do it to 0, it will make up whatever it wants.
that makes sense.
Let's see. That's just,
What is it?
I don't know what that says. I don't think those are letters. I think it was letters.
That's
It was trying to write something, but
so it's almost like it's like a multiplier on the embedding, which is the text prompt.
I've had to come up with totally like random coherent images, but it might just be this model. Life or Teramoy? I don't know. So to let's see. I already said it all. Let's see. Oh, there are, okay, so let's there's other samplers and schedulers. Schedulers are kind of a simpler concept to understand. It's, so first we were talking about the steps. The default is to do linear steps. So if you've got 20 steps, each step is 5% less noise every time. But the different algorithms are, it doesn't have to be equal every time. Exponential, for example, will do exponentially larger steps towards the end. So at the beginning, when the image is still figuring out what it is, those are actually smaller steps, but then once the structure is fleshed out, then it's doing bigger steps to finish it. I think it might be the other.
I imagine with things like really intricate landscapes or something, you might want something like I'm not sure, a different scheduler that allows like different like more details to be added later
Yeah.
on or something, as opposed to something like just a simple lion where you only really add details to the face and the mane.
Uh-huh. Let's see. I think it was the model. There's also it might have been with the Flux model that I was having it generate random things. So let me just see if I have. Yeah, I do have Flux guidance. This one is a. Right, let's see if I can get the Flux models. Hmm, those are the- Let's do the dev. So this is going to sit and background now. Here we load fusion model. And there's also the, and that doesn't give us the VAE either.
What's the difference between loading a diffusion model and loading a checkpoint? Wasn't the Juggernaut XL a diffusion model?
Yes, so the Juggernaut XL is one of the checkpoints, and it uses the older, um, older by like weeks or months, Stable Diffusion XL model versus Flux is a whole new contender that is like a different class. So there's the Stable Diffusions, and then Flux is not a Stable Diffusion model. It works differently. Um, yeah. Here we have different types. Flux dev by workflow. Actually, there is a checkpoint. So let's just do that. Copy. Flux dev eight dot. Oh, I can guess.
And we're using the flux model just because it's a better neural model.
Yeah, so uh, yeah, so we don't strictly have to, but one thing I was able to do is have it generate things randomly, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I guess it doesn't really matter if we're still trying to focus on the headshots. So that's that. Models. That's, oops, uh, okay, that's downloading now. This was also, oh, okay, well, it's there anyway. So, oops. Okay, there's plugs here. Just need the clip now. Uh, a lot, a lot of ComfyUI is figuring out what to install and trial and error and playing with it.
It would be cool if they added a AI feature that you could just ask it to build a comfy UI for you, and then it downloads all the things and then connects them all together.
Yeah. Okay. I think we had that one, and there was the T5 XXL. They all because um I'll do the quantized 8-bit. I RAM, but not that much RAM.
How so how do we get the image, the base image encoded into the clip model?
Um, yeah, let me pull up your link, my LinkedIn. Got two factor. I I've had this picture for a little while, but that worked. And then Josh as well.
Yes.
Copy image. So
Oh
actually,
wow, your one's so fancy that your head pops out of the little circle.
I know, yeah, but
And mine's so unfancy that my head pops inside the circle.
it's good. Yeah, there's nothing. There's no VA. Now is the problem. I go to model manager. I was installing a VA. I thought that's a clip. Is there a Flux? Flux VA. That's it. Close. Refresh. Close. Refresh. Hmm. All right, let's see how well this works. So we run the model to here now. This clip, this clip. On Flux, you don't actually use the negative. Do that. Sketchy up here for now. Okay. Let's just see if it works. Hard input negative. Oh, just connect the negative to it, but it's. Oh, I thought I just. Oh, it's muted. All right, done that. All right, so let's see if it's able to load the model now.
Quick question for you, but are you is the streaming still running?
Oh, yeah,
It is?
should be.
Is it unlisted by any chance?
Let's. Did I well to start? No, it's not. Says we're live. Let's see. Edit. Yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
Never mind. I just couldn't find it on the CognitionTO thing.
I
So
think it might actually be unlisted, but we'll fix that when we publish.
yeah.
All right, so now this type you have to set the type to be flux in so the load clip. So if I go load clips. Um, Suppose here load. Oh, so this is another workflow that I've downloaded that has is the dual clip. That's what I had on. All right.
What is a dual clip? Is that taking into text prompts or something?
Yes, it loads two clips, um, which I guess gives more samples to this K sampler.
So that's loading into different models. I see that there's clip name one and clip name two.
Yeah. Now I just go to make sure I have all these. Okay, do model manager. Five, six. think they had the links to down. Here, versions. Oh, was there? Manager, model manager, T5, XXL, and they are all here. Yeah. I kept that. Why is that not showing up? I go to the folders, go clip. Oh, it's there. So why is that? Oh, I don't think I have the GGF node. Yeah, that's not.
I um all of these different tensor formats really remind me of that XKCD.
It's honestly like messy.
Um
It is messy. It's I don't know why Comfy is the word for it, but it's
well, I mean, to be fair, it's not their fault that there exist like five different
oh
formats.
yeah, no, it's a great I think it's a great way of dealing with the complexity that's out there. Um, but it's still complex.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. It doesn't like this because all right, let me just do a clip, see if that actually works. Works AE, got that, wait, type, default. I don't know who made this. Well, but it's curious. Well, it goes in new net. So there's just starting. All right, we're case sampling now. Let's see where my screen is just slightly too small. Also frozen. There we go.
So what are we doing now?
We are trying to run this flex model.
Okay. Uh, have we gotten to the point of loading the headshots in yet?
Yeah, so that's what I was. Uh, oh, the ones that we uploaded? No, we haven't.
Okay.
Let's see, take a look at the image to image here. Replace the empty latent image node with a combination of load image and a image.
Oh, cool.
JPEG to ComfyUI in fresh. There we go. That's me.
Hey, look.
So,
Nice. Who would you take more seriously if you met them in a business meeting? That's what I want to know.
that didn't work. Let's see. Hold on. I'm not going to use this word. Can I clear? Does that work? That works. Oh, work. Okay. Kind of the old-fashioned way. Select all, mute. Let's go here. Load. Check. Okay. Now, okay. Now we have Flux in here, so that should work better. Next, we're going to go into IP adapter. We have a clip. Um, adapt. Sample. All right, so this is probably what I'm IP adapter encoder. We'll take in the IP adapter and the image. Okay, that works. And then from there, I don't need to do the combine. I can just here. embeds, positive, negative. Let me take that model. Or was it this model? Unified loader to embeds. Oh, we could do that. This, okay, so this now gives us a model here. Now we want to K-sampler it. I can click text encode, a element in a suit, posing for a text encode is negative, empty. These checkpoints, the clip. The image is an empty latent image. Then we do a VAE code. Pull the VAE over to there. And here we can preview image. All right. IP adapter is missing. One of these is doing something. Header too large. Oh, I can hear hard drives doing something now. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, loaded a model. Like that IP adapter. Look at this guy.
I know that guy.
You know
Is
that
it?
guy?
Yeah, I do.
Light
Live
model.
model supported.
That's makes sense. Do adapter models.
On the low.
Let's go to IP adapter. Um, what was it called? Plus space. Let's try to. I want the plus space XDXL. There's a sounding, but coder. I think the issue is it's too standard. All right, let's see what we got. Okay,
It worked.
there you are.
Look at that. That's amazing.
Let's see what we can do from here. We got, what kind of hair do you want?
Um, I I don't know, like a mohawk or something.
No. Oh, wow. I see.
That look, he looks even okay. That's great.
All right, let's
Sort
see.
of, it sort of looks like me.
Let's see.
I'm
Uh,
assuming the face one that didn't load would have a better time at actually getting.
let me just see. I gotta figure out. Some of this feels very cargo cult to me. Like I don't know it that well enough
Yeah.
to do kind of off the cuff. But let's see if we. I have been able to get pretty good stuff just by going. Yeah. Let's see. Here.
Let's see how it compares to when I did actually have really long hair. Nice.
Let's see. Now I wanted to get a little close. Oh, okay. So here's here's another piece that we can do. And this is actually kind of a good example because it talks about how this stuff can chain together. So if I can create a second K sampler here and then feed the latent image output of the first K sampler into the second K sampler. And then here I can take the original model that we load and pass this down here. And then I can give it a different input and a different text. Oh, a different, bring over the VAE. Okay. I am actually going to change this into a K sampler advanced. All right, so you're following the difference here?
We're doing it twice for
With
some.
different models. So this K sampler has the IP adapter in it, and then this is just a regular model. So here I can go.
So the IP adapter is going to be merging the face into the other one, and then this bottom one is just going to be generating.
Uh, Sky diving. Now it was a ComfyUI Q. Oh, it was a RG3. That's the one. I can go manager, custom nodes, RG. Install these. And here. Is that- That's there. Those. Attached. They're supposed to be. This will just cube. All right, that's a lot of legs.
That I imagine maybe that's the amount of legs that you need for skydiving.
Uh, let's see.
Still a lot of legs. I don't understand what the IP one is doing before that this one is now doing compared
Okay,
to.
so what I'm gonna do. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna use this output as the input. So the turn enable. All right, let's see what happens here. Oh, that's why. There is a add noise disable. What I was trying to get it to do is pick up basically where this image left off. Now I know with the case sampler like this, there's a denoise factor that makes that possible. So let's see, maybe we can do that.
So we're trying to add, right, so you want the headshot to then be skydiving.
Yeah,
Um,
let's see if that will work.
okay. Hey, look.
There you go. So that's,
Nice. That works pretty well.
yeah, so it can generate the skydiver and then it can plug in the face to it. So let's see, maybe if we, oh, this is doing that. It's not ending at step 10. Yeah, that's the thing, is it's got all the noise left in it. And it's step, perhaps. Yeah, it doesn't properly minimize it.
So I guess the question then becomes of like that doesn't really look like the face that was put in. It looks like the same expression. And would that just be a different?
Yeah, so this is, it's striking the balance between the face that it's generating and the face that it's thinking of.
Yeah.
The so it's, yeah, so that has to do with how strong we make this denoise. So let's say I go 0.8. Let's try that. Oh,
To
boy.
be fair, that also probably isn't the best photo to get of like entire face shape from.
No.
Oh, okay.
let's see. This is, oh yeah, so this is returned with the noise. I don't think I want to do that actually. Yeah, so if I put the denoise up too high, I totally lose the skydiving.
Right.
Give me another scenario.
Um, Playing squash.
That's not a squash ball.
Um, the other thing about it is there ways to add because when you're fine tuning a model to generate um when you're fine tuning a model, you want to use as many photos of the particular thing that you want to like sort of fine tune it for. And when you're trying to do something like a LoRa, you can do that with like 10
Yes.
or 20
So
of
the services that are doing this online are not using a LoRa for each customer. So one thing is the models that we have.
I guess my question was to they might not be using LoRa, but they might still be um using multiple images of the same person. So
Yeah, I think part of it is also you can just tell your customer to upload the right picture.
um but would like if you can you add multiple images of a face into this ComfyUI so that the like embedded
Yes. Yeah, so
representation of
you
the model.
can uh, that was in the IP adapter guide. There is a way of doing. Yeah, so you can put in multiple images to the IP adapter.
Yeah. And I assume the more that you put in of the same face, the better it will end up generating.
Just the feedback. There's a face detailer that will pick up faces and detail them. And the one thing that I needed was clip seg detector provider, I think. Maybe that works. Clip seg. It was the Ultralytics detector provider. That was it. All right, so now we're making a guy playing squash. And that image goes into this face detailer that will then pick up the face,
Uh,
specifically update that.
okay, that makes sense. Does the face detailer have an option of like an input? So it details it to a particular.
Yeah, so the model input of the face detailer is the IP adapter model.
Oh, cool. Okay, that's cool. What
Regenerate this guy from this squash. Why does he have two rackets?
so but I guess this is interesting because the model adapter that you end up generating is sort of like a type of LoRa.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
it would be having it would be just generating everything with the like almost vector addition of latent space of the image that you ended up putting in.
Yeah. But I don't, it's not, it's like a simple LoRa.
Yeah, 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 yeah. A model steered LoRa as opposed to an actual fine tune.
Oh, I think it looks like it
Look, that looks, yeah,
looks older.
yes.
She looked like with long hair.
Yeah, I mean, sort of.
I don't think this input is going, oh, it is going into that. Okay.
I when I first came across ComfyUI, I was like, but why do you need a UI? Can't you just do all of this in code? And when you zoom out and I see how many crosslinks there are and everything, I understand why a UI is really good for this. Yeah.
And that's the fun thing is you can do it in code.
Yes. If you read
But this is easier for, okay, hold on. Let's just see.
we are almost at 2 hours, by the way.
Yeah. I don't think this here, given the face detail, I think we can just do it like that. Oh, and then I want to put there.
Nice. Just so wait, so now that the graph has sort of grown a little bit, quite a bit, do you want to walk through all of the separate pieces from loading the image and the model and what they do?
Yeah, yeah. So let's see. And I've had, okay, totally. Especially because when I zoom out enough to see it all, it gets rid of all the labels, which makes it
Yeah.
hard. Okay, so let's create some groups. We can add a group for this. The groups in ComfyUI are sticky. So if any node touches the group even a little bit, it's in the group,
Okay.
uh, which makes it kind of hard to put the group where you want it, but that's okay. So these guys are the IP adapter that lets you turn, it's kind of, yeah, like the LoRa. it lets you customize how the model is generating stuff.
So here we're getting load checkpoint is loading in the like vanilla model. Load image is
Yes, this
loading
is
in.
you're actually right. So this is not IP adapter direct.
Yeah. Um, and then we're loading in the image, and the IP adapter encoder is loading in the image, and that's the mask.
We're not using masks, so these are for limiting the changes to certain.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, so that right, the IP adapter encoder is just encoding the image in whatever the correct embedding is.
Yeah.
Can you zoom back in?
Yeah.
IP adapter unified loader is taking the model, and then
Yeah.
that,
So it's taking the model, the checkpoint as the input, and this node itself has also downloaded the plus space preset model.
which is sort of like a LoRa on top of the
Yeah.
model.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. And then the IP adapter encoder, what's on the left in better? Sorry, on the right. Um,
It's your positive and negatives that match kind of the text, but it's like we turn the positive and negatives. It's like the clip text encode, but it's based on the image instead of text.
that makes sense. And then that's putting them together in the IP adapter embeds, which is
Yeah.
taking the model and the IP adapter, and then the positive and negative embed. And then that's outputting another model, which is then the IP adapter, which acts as if
Yeah.
it's just the model itself.
Exactly. So
And
then outside of that, we're doing two image flows.
okay,
The first one is a man in a Hawaiian shirt playing squash.
yes.
And this is just a guy. And it's any guy. It's not IP adapted. But what happens is we take that latent and we decode it to get the image. This is just the preview. I guess this is the same as this, so I can clean that up a little bit.
Okay.
The two previews now. So we take our guy in the Hawaiian shirt,
Yeah.
we give it to face detailer,
Okay.
who then, oh gosh, who then takes in that image, the model that we have the IP adapter with, the clip, the VAE, and the text prompts, along with this bounding box detector. So all of those will go through and it'll pick up where, it's terrible. I can go preview here. So yeah, the face detailer, it detects the faces and then reruns the faces themselves
Yeah.
on the model.
Nice. Okay, and so scrolling out a little bit, we going back to the other, that one there.
This part, yeah. So this is just generating a headshot without redoing the shape of something.
Right. So
Given,
this is asking, this is taking the IP adapter as the model, and then taking the positive prompt, which is a professional man in a suit posing for a headshot, long hair, professional haircut,
yeah,
and the negative prompt, which is beige.
yeah, yes.
Um, and then the latent image, which is the image that you generated down
Oh, it
there.
is. This actually was meant to be an empty latent image.
Okay.
But it's given that uh, it's denoising completely, then it's not really making a difference.
Okay. And so then that's generating a K sampler, which has we've got what, 1,000 steps,
20 steps.
20 steps.
This 1,000 just means it ends at 1,000, but it's only doing the first 20 anyways.
Gotcha. Okay. And so then that generates an image. And then your VA decoding it for the preview. That makes sense. And then you're passing that over to the other one, which is then combining the squash player with this here. Okay, that's pretty cool.
A lot of it is trial and error.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I think the thing that I like about the UI is that it gives you like specific feedback on the parts that don't work,
Yeah.
that doesn't work. Which is good because that can get really annoying. Um, is there like I guess question about this because you're like if the goal of this model is to generate the final part of it playing squash, is there a need for a positive and negative text prompt in the headshot example?
The face dealer Taylor does need a. You just see. I understand your question, and I think the answer is yes, just because it needs to have something. Let me just see if I put these empty.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't
So okay, I wasn't expecting that.
face.
Yeah,
Man, make it super general.
that also. Oh wait, I guess that's
I don't
silly.
think it's rerun this one yet.
Okay, I guess it sort of generates the same thing.
Yeah, let's.
Um, seeing that we are at 2 hours, what do you think about wrapping up?
Yeah. You think I should make this my LinkedIn picture?
Please.
He said, please.
Yes. I would accept a LinkedIn connection invitation on LinkedIn for
Yeah,
people to look like that.
maybe it needs more steps. I put 35. Want to do that. Let's just see what happens here. It's good at picking up the hair, but it's not quite getting the let me just see. So the one thing you can do is you can go to the extra options and auto queue on change. So if I now change the sampler, it will regenerate it.
It seemed to be doing okay before. What changed? Did you change the scheduler?
The scheduler and the sampler, yeah.
Gotcha.
Queue on change, yeah. I don't know, I was just doing it. Well,
That's demonic, but okay. I guess it is October, so we are in Halloween.
You do get some demonics sometimes. But it's really interesting, like this stuff in the background, like the shirt looks, I mean, it's oversaturated, but it's, let's see the different schedulers on this.
Is this doing a hyperparameter sweep or are you just clicking next for
I'm just clicking next, yeah.
okay.
That it actually looks like it's,
That's wild.
there's something wrong with the face, but it looks like it's understanding it better
Yeah.
than some of these others. But it's kind of remarkable how much these ones make a difference.
That just went to a whole bunch of completely different faces then.
Let me try smaller steps, maybe. No, see, it's not. That's weird. Like the shirt actually looks pretty good, but there's just no face at all.
Yeah. Maybe maybe this has to do with it trying to add in the latent image of well, I guess there's gonna be more details on the face to start with.
Yeah, and the face is also coming from the IP adapter versus the rest probably isn't.
Right. And so like this get I would assume that the way that you add the way that the adapter adds details in, that's great. Uh would depend on the type of scheduler because if you're doing like big jumps versus small jumps, the
Yeah,
latent
yeah,
space would
yes.
act differently. It does. I mean, it is getting your face a lot more accurately than it's getting my face. So that's a thing.
Yeah, I think part of it has to do with the size in the frame.
Yes.
Um,
What do you think about wrapping it up in the next 15 minutes?
yeah, yeah. I mean, we're. I don't think I'm gonna do much more than this beyond just explore the different samplers.
Yeah. Um,
Try it with a instead of the advanced. It's really easy to mess it up with the advanced.
at least it gives you nice errors.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, nice. It's the Brady Bunch or something.
Mason now.
Wait, what happened? What did you change there?
What did I change? I don't know what I changed. Oh, I've switched it from an advanced to a not advanced.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Um, nice. So it's like got a 70s TV show vibe to it or something.
Yeah, I don't know why changing that. Um, Baseman. Let's try this. Oh gosh, what is?
You look like a clown. Look at that. Silly goofball.
I mean, it's still very vague. I think it's which model are we using right now? The Juggernauts. two businessmen.
Oh wow, are they two? Are they both you?
Yeah.
Nice. Wow,
I
that's
mean,
amazing.
the clothes, the faces don't look right, but the clothes actually look okay. Let me try connecting this to the face detail here to see. It looks better with the face detailer, but it still doesn't look real. Let me just see businessman happy. Make my eyes droopy. Yay!
Wait, I want to get a better image of my face because it would be hilarious to actually use one of these as a LinkedIn photo. I do have a lot of photos of my face though.
Wait, excited. Oh, I've got a mega laptop now.
Goliath would be getting jealous right now.
I mean, that's where these pictures are running in the first place. So what kind of it's actually not that bad. It's only 12 gigs. So there are better models. I think this would look better if I could get Flux working.
Yeah,
I can do some homework and kind of look into that. But
you see, I tried to do this with my M1 MacBook Pro.
dead,
It got really hot and stopped working.
I bet.
Can you please send that to your... That's fantastic. That's that's fantastic. I say that's pretty good. That's not bad.
That's pretty good. I think that's probably as good as, I mean, the eyes look kind of bloodshot, but I think that's probably as good as we can expect from this particular model. Oh yeah.
I like you said before, I think there's probably other low-hanging fruit with the same model, like using multiple images
Yeah.
for the IP adapter and from different angles and everything. This was something I was trying to create a image model that was adapted to generate photos of my friend, and I yeah ended up getting a lot of photos of him. Um, and that was something that was meant to help, but I didn't have a GPU to actually test it out on.
Oh, one other important thing is you can convert a preview image into a saved image. Um, properties. Yeah. Image. You can just save these as we go. Ah, all right, what do we got? What do we got?
Nice. That looks exactly like me.
I don't think. I mean, honestly, how old is that picture?
Uh, Probably like a year and a half old.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
this is the one.
Wait, let's do a comparison. Oh no, I'm thumbing down on Zoom. That's not nice.
And speaker. See what happens. Wait, what is that suit?
Okay. Do you want to end it there?
Yeah, that's
That has a whole bunch of people in the background. That's great. Honestly, it's quite interesting that it generated that expression because I do that on a daily basis.
it's making them all into you. All right, let's just see how this goes, and then we'll
Agent Smith style.
yeah. I think it's too excited. I don't know if you make that face, but
I am that excited a lot of times though.
you do get excited, that's for sure. But they're all you.
That's great. That's great.
Look at
That's
this guy's chin. Turned it. Yeah, cool.
yeah, well,
Yeah, we didn't turn it into an app, but we did learn a lot about ComfyUI.
yes. Um, I think a lot of that had to do with like, yeah, picking what model was actually going to work and figuring out how Comfy UI worked.
Yeah.
But that was interesting. I would be interested to doing more things with Comfy UI, especially because I guess you don't only need to do image generation related things as well. Um,
It can do video, and you can theoretically make Python modules to do whatever you want.
yes, I'm interested from this from the sort of like rapid prototyping of code writing models, because then you could have things that could like write a program but then also write unit tests for a program and then like link them all together in such a way that you just unit test it in that and everything, which could
Yeah.
be a quite general way of writing a software engineer model or app or something like that, which would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Um,
think I've seen a little bit of the code on how to create the modules, and it's a pretty standard, like in terms of making the boxes, it's pretty straightforward.
yeah.
Um, to make the nodes and define their inputs and outputs. So it works pretty cool. We can play with that in a future video.
Yeah, that would be great. Like making your own comfy UI module or something.
Yeah.
Um, I guess that's all from me.
Yeah. It was a cool workshop.
Yes. First of hopefully many workshops.
Yeah.
Um,
All right.
yeah.